There are places on Earth where reality seems to bend, where the unexplained becomes terrifyingly real. Tonight, we're diving into one of the most disturbing mysteries ever recorded, a case that'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the world around us. What you're about to hear isn't fiction. These are real events, documented by authorities, witnessed by dozens of people, and yet, no one can explain what truly happened on that chilling October night. This is the haunting tale of Highway 666, a road that locals now refuse to travel after dark, a road where 7 people vanished without a trace, and where something far more sinister may still be lurking, waiting for its next victim. October 13th, 2019. The small town of Millbrook had always been quiet, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, where crime is virtually non-existent, and where the biggest excitement is the annual Harvest Festival. But Highway 666, the winding road that cuts through the dense pine forest just outside town, had always carried a different energy. Locals whispered about it in hushed tones. Truckers would take longer routes to avoid it. Even GPS systems seemed to malfunction near that particular stretch of asphalt. The road earned its ominous reputation decades ago. Unexplained accidents, cars found abandoned with their engines still running, and drivers who emerged from the forest speaking of things that couldn't possibly exist. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared the town for what was about to unfold that mysterious autumn night. It started with Sarah Martinez, a 34-year-old nurse returning from her night shift at the county hospital. Sarah was pragmatic, level-headed, not someone prone to hysteria or wild imaginings. At exactly 2:47 a.m., Sarah called 911. Her voice was trembling, barely above a whisper. There's something wrong with the road and the trees. They're moving, but there's no wind. And the fog. It's not natural. It's following my car. The dispatcher tried to calm her down, but Sarah's next words sent chills down everyone's spine. Oh God, there are people standing in the road. But they're not. They're not right. Their eyes are black. Completely black. The call went dead. When police arrived at Highway 666 30 minutes later, they found Sarah's car. Doors open. Engine running. Headlights cutting through an unnaturally thick fog. But Sarah was gone. But here's where the story takes a truly disturbing turn. Because Sarah wouldn't be the last to disappear that night. Within the next 4 hours, 6 more vehicles were found abandoned along the same stretch of Highway 666, each one identical to Sarah's. Engines running, doors open, no signs of struggle. 7 people vanished into thin air. But what the police discovered next defied all logical explanation. The security cameras from the nearby gas station had captured something unusual. The footage showed each vehicle entering the foggy section of the highway normally, but when they should have emerged from the other side, nothing. The cars simply disappeared. Detective Robert Hayes, a 20-year veteran who had seen everything, described the footage as impossible and haunting beyond description. What exactly did those cameras capture? What was hiding in that unnatural fog? The mystery deepened when search teams discovered that the fog itself seemed to have a life of its own. It moved against the wind, concentrated in specific areas, and, most disturbing of all, it seemed to avoid direct light sources, retreating whenever powerful flashlights were pointed at it. But the most chilling discovery came when investigators found footprints in the soft earth beside each abandoned vehicle. Footprints that started normal, but gradually changed, becoming longer, with what appeared to be claw marks where toes should have been. 3 days later, something unprecedented happened. Marcus Webb, a long-haul trucker who regularly traveled Highway 6666, came forward with a story that would shake the investigation to its core. Marcus claimed he had been driving through the area that same night, just hours before the disappearances began. His truck's CB radio had started picking up strange transmissions, voices speaking in whispers, saying things like, "Come join us," and "the road calls." But these weren't normal radio signals. The voices, Marcus told police, they knew my name. They knew about my family, my route, things no stranger should know. And when I looked in my mirrors, I saw people walking alongside my truck, not running, not jogging, just walking, but somehow keeping pace with me at 65 miles per hour. Marcus described the figures as wrong, humanoid but elongated, with movements that seemed unnatural, jerky, like marionettes controlled by an inexperienced puppeteer. Most disturbing of all, he claimed their eyes reflected his headlights like those of nocturnal animals. But why did Marcus escape when 7 others didn't? What made the difference between survival and whatever happened to the others? The answer he gave investigators was as mysterious as it was chilling. According to Marcus, the entities, if that's what they were, seemed drawn to fear. The more terrified drivers became, the closer the figures would approach. "I just kept driving," he said. "Didn't stop, didn't look directly at them, just kept my eyes on the road and my foot on the gas." But the investigation took an even more disturbing turn when historians discovered that Highway 666 wasn't always a road. The asphalt had been laid directly over what was once known as the Trail of Sorrows, a path where, over a century ago, an entire Native American settlement had mysteriously vanished during a particularly harsh winter. Local tribal elders, who had remained silent for decades, finally spoke to investigators. They described the area as cursed ground, where the hungry spirits walk. According to their oral traditions, those who died on that land with unfinished business would return during the darkest hours, seeking others to join them in their eternal wandering. Was this simply folklore and coincidence? Or had something ancient and malevolent been awakened by the constant flow of traffic over sacred ground? The case took its final, most chilling turn when one of the missing persons, David Chen, a traveling salesman, was found 6 months later in a psychiatric facility 3 states away. He had no memory of how he got there, no identification, and spoke only in whispers about the walking ones and the road that never ends. David's medical examination revealed something that doctors couldn't explain. His body showed signs of extreme hypothermia and dehydration, as if he had been wandering in harsh conditions for months. Yet he had been missing for only 1 night. Even more disturbing, his fingerprints had somehow changed. The ridge patterns were similar but wrong, as if they belonged to someone else entirely. The other 6 individuals, they remain missing to this day. Their families continue to hope, but as the years pass, that hope grows dimmer. The official investigation was quietly closed, filed away as unexplained disappearances, a bureaucratic way of admitting defeat. Today, Highway 666 remains open to traffic, though few locals dare to use it after sunset. The state has installed additional lighting and emergency call boxes, but somehow, these modern safety measures feel inadequate against something so ancient and unknowable. Truckers still report strange CB radio transmissions. Drivers speak of fog that moves with purpose, of figures walking impossible distances at impossible speeds. And every few months, another car is found abandoned. Engine running, doors open, occupant vanished. The question that haunts investigators, families, and anyone who learns of this case remains the same. What really happened on Highway 666 that October night? Were 7 people victims of some elaborate hoax? Did they encounter something supernatural? Or is there a more disturbing human explanation that we simply haven't uncovered yet? Perhaps the most unsettling possibility is this. Somewhere out there, Sarah Martinez and 6 other souls are still walking, still searching, still calling out to passing travelers with voices that whisper through CB radios and fog that defies nature. The next time you find yourself driving alone at night, on a dark road surrounded by forest, remember this story. Pay attention to your mirrors. Listen carefully to any static on your radio. And whatever you do, don't stop for figures walking along the roadside, because some mysteries are better left unsolved, and some roads are better left untraveled. This has been another journey into the unexplained. Until next time, drive safely and never alone.